And I would like to, it is my honor and privilege to present to you your president, your borough president, Ruben Diaz Jr.
This is not my first time being at these types of rallies or press conference, and like I always do, let me begin by thanking each and every single one of you for the work that you do on behalf of the 1.4 million Bronxites, and of course the children of the Bronx and throughout the city of New York. I think that you are outstanding, and I don't understand why anyone wants to get rid of any teachers in the city of New York. I also want to say that I want to each and every single one of you, I want to be just like you when I grow up. You know, I don't know if you know and realize I try to do the best that I can to go to different schools, and I teach, and I do that as an elected official. I like to teach state government, local politics, and what I'm really doing is auditioning. So if one day I don't win an election, maybe somebody will give me a teaching job. But on a serious note, just like Margaret said, we know that in the city of New York there's a budget surplus. We all know that throughout the United States there's an economic crisis. We understand that. We know that we have to do more with less. What I feel is that no matter what, there still should be sacred cows when you're speaking of the budget process. Certainly the safety of New Yorkers should be on that list. Our senior citizens should be on that list, and of course the educational system. And we're not making this argument out of emotion, even though each and every single person here is passionate, including myself, about this issue. Let me tell you why. There has to be sacred cows because we know that while we have to have spending cuts, there has also been a lot of waste in spending. We know that, for instance, certain contracts like city time, which the city spends about $1 billion in, and there's about $50 million unaccounted for out of the $1 billion in that contract, and no one is asking the mayor what's going on with city time. City time has not even been completed or fulfilled that contract, and yet the city wants to continue to pour more money and more money. That's not the only contract. The DOE, we know, spends about $6 billion in outside vendor contracts. A lot of the work that's done by it can be done directly through the educational services of people who are already getting paid or inside the educational system, including over $700 million in direct educational services that could be provided more efficiently in-house. $700 million. We know today that City Comptroller John Liu just rejected a $20 million contract for what else? Get a load of this. To recruit new teachers. Oh, wow. Now, why would you use $20 million? Who needs $20 million to recruit? You can't have it both ways. You can't say, we want to recruit new teachers, but we want to lay off 4,600 teachers. It makes no sense. That's why we're here today. The borough of the Bronx, if there were to be layoffs, and I don't understand why we are discussing layoffs when we know that it will increase classroom sizes. Some of our schools are already overcrowded. Imagine what that would mean for the children. This is amazing when Mayor Bloomberg wants to be the educational mayor. It makes absolutely no sense. We know that there are other areas that we could look at instead of just spending money. If we're going to speak about a budget crisis and how we're going to solve this budget crisis, then if people are going to sacrifice, let everyone sacrifice. But it's amazing to some of us how, on one hand, you say that you want to lay off 4,600 teachers, you want to close down 105 senior citizen centers in the city of New York, you want to shut down firehouses, and you want everyone to share the pain, but you don't want to tax the millionaires of the city of New York. It's amazing how you take retired firefighters and police officers who get $12,000 at the end of their career, after they ran into burning buildings, after they provided safety for the entire city of New York, for the 8.5 million residents of the city, and at the end of their career they get $12,000. That is not a bonus. This is something that is owed to them. And you want to take it away from them, and yet you don't want to tax the millions of dollars in bonuses that Wall Street stockbrokers are getting. And by the way, they're the ones who put us in the economic crisis.
Right.
And the last point I want to make is this. The last point I want to make is this, that the mayor is, what he's doing is mind-boggling. He's taking the budget debate and he's trying to ram other policy debate. And that's what LIFO, last in, first out. There, in my opinion, it should be no room for the LIFO discussion here. I don't believe that one has anything to do with the other, regardless of how you feel. Especially if you want to make a system, or LIFO to me is unfair, when you want to create an assessment system of teachers based on data or information that has been flawed. So if you want to do it based on tests and exam scores, we already know the fiasco that has happened and the information that we're getting from DOE. So we're here to say that it's time to put our children first. We're here to say that how dare anyone who has not spent more than half an hour in one day of their life inside of a classroom to attack our teachers. We're here to say to the mayor, we're here to say to Albany, that while you have to do what you have to do, and while you have to make tough decisions, there has to be sacred cows. Our teachers, our educational system should not be played with. Leave it alone. In fact, you should be investing in it. Yes. And as the borough president, I'm here to say thank you. I'm proud of the work that you do, and we're going to keep pushing forward. Thank you.